Hey, what's up, YouTube? Um, I'm just gonna make this video. I'm just gonna cut right to the purpose of this video. This is the same video that I made last time. I'm redoing it because the other video kind of finished kind of early. Um, so apparently I don't have enough time to say what I have to say. So that's why I'm just gonna cut to the chase. We'll be talking about the Summer Slaughter Tour 2012. I'm pretty much just redoing that video. Um, uh, Pretty much wearing. Coincidentally, I'm wearing the same shirt from the last video too, and the same hat. But anyways, that's something completely irrelevant. Um, Summer Slaughter Tour 2012. I was at the Summer Slaughter Tour last year in 2011, and it was at cause I live down here in Florida, and the closest thing, the closest date that's to down where I live is Fort Lauderdale, and I was at this venue called Revolution Live. If you're familiar with it, then you know what I'm talking about. It's actually, personally, it's one of my favorite venues. Um, and I was there last year when the Black Dahlia Murder was headlining. I'm wearing one of their shirts right now. As well as Whitechapel, Darkest Hour, 6 Feet Under, Dying Fetus, Flesh God Apocalypse, As Blood Runs Black, and Oceano. I had a pretty sick time last year. That show was pretty fucking brutal, and I look forward to seeing all those dudes again sometime. Um, this, if not this year, maybe next year. But I do hope on seeing those dudes again. Um, I won't be seeing any of those dudes on this year's Summer Slaughter tour. It's unfortunate, however, not really, because this year is pretty fucking sick as well. This year we have Cannibal Corpse headlining Summer Slaughter this year. Now, I know I said on my Mayhem video, on my video about Mayhem Festival, that I would like Cannibal Corpse to be added to Mayhem Festival. That did not happen, and now I know why, because they're headlining the Summer Slaughter tour. And that's my second favorite tour of the summer. You know, rather than Mayhem Fest and Download Festival and Walk-In Festival. Well, Download and Walk-In are two festivals I can never go to because Europe, North America, I have no visas or anything like that to go all the way over there. Anyways, Cannibal Corpse, that's one of my top played bands on my iPod, on when I'm online on iTunes, whatever. I play that band the most because they're just that fucking sick. I fucking love Cannibal Corpse. Um, they're not the only band that I enjoy, but they're definitely a band that I do listen to very frequently. And I just can't wait to, slam to them live. Or that's at least that's what they call moshing. They call it slamming, but in terms of Cannibal Corpse, I can't wait to slam to them. But co-headlining with Cannibal Corpse is Between the Buried and Me. Um, I don't listen to Between the Buried and Me very much, not as much as the other bands that are on this tour that I'm gonna name eventually. Uh, I really wouldn't suspect Between the Buried and Me to be on this tour. I've always thought of the Summer Slaughter tour to be like a well, it's a metal tour, it's a whole bunch of metal, brutal metal bands that go on the Summer Slaughter tour. But if you want to narrow it down to what type of metal, death metal, mostly, I mean, it's not really an opinion, really. Like, it's a fact. Look at the bands that get added to the Summer Slaughter tour annually. Their genres are death metal. Um, so it's kind of odd and rare that Between the Buried and Me will be co-headlining, not even supporting the tour. They're co-headlining with Cannibal Corpse. Um, and they're just completely out of the death metal scene. They're metal. Between the Buried and Me is metal. I'm not gonna like really elaborate on what type of metal they are. I think maybe heavy metal or metalcore. I don't know, but I just know that they're metal, and I guess they're metal enough to co-headline with Cannibal Corpse. But anyways, enough of Between the Buried and Me. Now we get down to the supporting bands on the Summer Slaughter tour. But let me get a sip. Co-headlining the Summer Slaughter tour, The Faceless is also co-headlining this tour, which I gotta admit I was pretty excited about because I have like a couple of dudes that that I get along with on a daily basis who also like the Faceless, and whenever we discuss music, whenever we discuss metal, we always somehow bring up the Faceless. Um, it's a great. They're not new yet. Not they're new, but not really. Um, but we're just like to talk about them, listen to them because they're pretty fucking sick as well. Like the Faceless, they're pretty cool. I personally like the song Zenu Christ, if Zeno Christ, Zenu Christ, if I'm pronouncing that right. Um, Anybody who listens to the Faceless will say, "Oh, my favorite song is Zenu Christ," but because that's the only song that's like their song that's always known. That's like the song that they'll always play, like every band has. But anyways, I really like that song, as well as the rest of their Planetary Duality, if I'm pronouncing that right. Um, so yeah, it would be awesome to see them live as well. They're probably the only death metal band that can pull off clean singing. I normally don't listen to anything with singing in it, um, unless it's like As I Lay Dying or All That Remains, but or bands like that. I don't like it when any death metal band um comes and like tries to sing or whatever. Not that I discriminate or anything like that, but I don't know. It just doesn't sound right to me. I think the Faceless is the only band that can get away with that, um, or that pulls it off anyways. Also, with added to the Summer Slaughter tour is Job for a Cowboy. All these bands are confirmed, by the way, in case you're asking, oh, are these bands, is this accurate? Yes, it's very accurate. All these bands are legitimate, they're confirmed, they're approved. And Job for a Cowboy is one of those confirmed bands that are going to be there this year in Summer Slaughter Tour. I love all of Job for a Cowboy stuff, even ever since Doom. From Doom all the way through their new album that came out this year, Democracy. They have really really good stuff. Doom was probably my least favorite, with the exception of Entombment of a Machine. That song I just can't get enough of. I was gonna say can't stand, but that was gonna be my mistake because I love that song. Rather than that, um, Unfurling of a Darkened Gospel, I think it's what it's called, and then Gloom and Democracy. Those are probably my favorites. I was really, really impressed with Democracy. Um, I'm not the one who has like a favorite track for every album that I listen to, with the exception of Doom, because my favorite song off that one is Entombment of a Machine, like I just said. But for this one, um, I don't really have a favorite for Democracy. Like I just fucking love the whole album. I'm running out of time here, so who else? Um, Goat Horror. Goat Horror is also going to be on there. Goat Horror is one of the bands, well, along with Cannibal Corpse and Job for a Cowboy, that are signed to like one of my favorite record labels of all time, and that is Metal Blade Records. Metal Blade Records, Brian Slagle, the founder of Metal Blade Records, can sign some really good bands along with the sponsors of Metal Blade. From Whitechapel to As I Lay Dying to the Black Dahlia Murder to Cannibal Corpse, Job for a Cowboy, and Goat Horror, and many many more. Goat Horror is definitely one of my favorite bands. Um, on Metal Blade Records, along with the other ones that I just named right now. And I love their stuff too. The majority of the Summer Slaughter dudes from every year, I like all their stuff. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna say for every band. Like all their stuff is pretty good. Blood of a Master was a really good album. I was impressed with it. I'm not gonna say it was better than their first album, but it was definitely really good. I was impressed, and I would love to. I love to see all these bands live. Like I'm gonna mosh the shit out of them. So, to each band. Anyways, moving on. Periphery. Periphery. Summer Slaughter tour. Who the fuck did this? Like, for most, that's at least the reaction that I got. For other people, I don't know if that's your reaction, but I personally, what the fuck is Periphery doing on the Summer Slaughter tour? Like, I said that Between the Buried and Me shouldn't be on the Summer Slaughter tour, and there are at least some, like, well, I'm not gonna say they're more metal because that's like me discriminating, but if Between the Buried and Me doesn't necessarily belong on the Summer Slaughter tour, then Periphery definitely doesn't, you know, speak any louder because I don't know what genre Periphery is necessarily. If you guys know their genre, then you could, comment down below the descriptions. But like like I said before, the Summer Slaughter tour is supposed to be for death metal bands. Periphery seems more like an alternative, like hardcore type of band. I don't know. Again, I don't know their genre. If you guys know the genre, help me out down there. Um, but I don't know. This is the same thing that I mentioned about about Asking Alexandria being at Mayhem Fest this year on my last Mayhem video. But you know what? I'm not the one to bitch and rant, so it is what it is, right? Also, Veil of Maya. Uh, if there was any deathcore band that was, and I put air quotes because I don't know, I don't. I mean, that's a subgenre for death metal, but um, okay, fuck that I ever did the air quote thing. Um, if there were any deathcore bands that were on the Summer Slaughter tour last year, there were quite a couple. Whitechapel was one of them. Oceano was another. As Blood Earns Black, and I think that was it. Yeah, those three. This year it's Veil of Maya that's gonna be there. I think there's like three more, but I'm not sure. Veil of Maya is definitely gonna be there. I'm not a frequent listener of Veil of Maya. I don't know all their stuff. I just heard stuff from Eclipse. I wasn't all that into it. I'm not all that into Veil of Maya, but like I said, I'm gonna see them live. I'm excited to see them live, see how they are with their performances and their musicality live. Other than them, we got okay. I'm definitely running out of time with 13 minutes, so we also have Exhumed. Exhumed is one of those gory bands that I personally find happiness in, and I've always liked Exhumed ever since like the 5th grade, and I'm not lying. I've always loved Exhumed, and it's really a privilege to go see them live this year, this summer. Also, Cerebral fucking Bore is gonna be at Summer Slaughter Tour, dude. I'm excited for that because Cerebral Bore is awesome too. They were the contest winners for the opening of the Summer Slaughter Tour. Um, they won, and I'm excited because other people that were supposed to win or whatever were bands like Pathology or Fit for an Autopsy or Felucia or whatever. But Cerebral Bore won. Cerebral Bore fucking deserves to be on this tour. So any of you guys that are upset that Pathology or whatever didn't win, then I'm deeply sorry, but Cerebral Bore belongs on this motherfucking tour. Um, Other than that, Abiotic, representing Florida, is going to be down here in Florida. And I'm excited about that too. And I'm running out of time again. Fuck. Okay, Abiotic, representing Florida, from Florida, going to be in Florida. I'm excited for them. Another Metal Blade band that I just can't get enough of. And I think that's... Well, that's not all. There's another band called Empty, and the other band I'm kind of blank on right now.